This takes a while. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hilltime Sports, and I got a special guest for all of you. 5 Points Vids is here. We're here to talk about some NFL history, some Giants Eagles rivalry stuff, and what his overall takeaway from the offseason was for the Giants. First of all, good to have you on.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Oh, yes. So one thing I gotta ask you is, what is your favorite stadium content that you've made? Because I loved the big one where you were doing every stadium that has had a NFL or football game. But take me through that.
Those get a lot of attention online, but they're the most tedious to put together. The level of research that needs to be done on those is time consuming, and then the editing. You're a 48-minute video is tough. I enjoy those when they're over. The more satisfying ones now are, the Weirder Than series, where I look at stadiums of the past or that are at least abandoned. Those are more fun because I've kind of developed a formula and I can see my way through it. And creating those is a lot less stressful, and just the vision for them is a little easier to crystallize. So I enjoy doing those. But yeah, I mean, finding out what a stadium was before it was built is pretty cool too. Unfortunately, I can only do that one time each for each
Yeah.
league, but the Weirder Than series, there's almost an infinite amount. Well, I wouldn't say infinite. There's plenty of stadiums that are interesting, where interesting things happen. And then now I'm gonna start expanding it to athletes, like weirder athletes. Like I might start with Peyton Manning or Trevor Bauer is like an obvious one, but there's weird athletes out there. And then maybe there's other things that I can expand the series to say, Tom Brady was cooler than you think.
Yeah.
The shit like that. Oh, excuse me.
No,
Stuff
you're
like that. Okay.
So going to that, I always think of Doc Ellis. I don't know if you know anything about him. Like he threw that no hitter.
Oh yeah,
where he
he
was
was
on
on
LSD.
LSD. Yeah.
Sometimes he would see the strike zone, sometimes he couldn't, and then I think one time was like he saw Jimi Hendrix in the batter's box.
I mean, how the veracity of that story is wild, but I will say this: athletes are usually they're so good at being athletic that they can get away with a lot. Like I have athlete friends that they drink right before, they could drink right before games. They could smoke weed before games and perform at the highest level of sport and not even, you know, not even lose a step.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure that's not good, but at the same time, like they're so big, they're so fast, it doesn't matter. So if Doc Ellis says he was on LSD and he pitched a no hitter, then he probably was. But it's still crazy to think that he could perform at the highest level, and just even have the audacity to go out. I think he wasn't planning on pitching or something like that, right? Like
I don't remember.
and they were like, "Yo, you have to pitch," and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm tripping balls right now." And then, or Doc Gooden, a lot of players
Lawrence
are
Taylor.
high. Lawrence
Lawrence.
Taylor. These athletes are amazing. They can do things that you and I only can dream about, and they can do it on drugs. And they've done it a lot. There was some safety that I forget who it was. He tweeted and he was like, "I played the entire season drunk as shit."
Oh my
He
god.
was like a Bills player, I think. I forget
I
who it was.
I couldn't imagine, honestly, because I play guitar and I've done it drunk, and I cannot do anything. And I don't drink anymore, but at that time I was like, oh my gosh, I can't play.
Yeah, I'm not one of those athletes that gets better. Like, when I used to play golf, people, my people in my foursome would start drinking out on the course, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so bad already. Alcohol is not going to help this situation. But imagine if you did something that everyone somehow found amazing, and like imagine if you just got drunk before a podcast or something, and
Uh,
someone's like, "How can you get drunk in podcasts?" That's how blessed these athletes are. They just happen to be really fast.
yeah, and sometimes like sometimes drinking does bring out your personality, especially when you're shy. So who knows? And
Yeah, I can't imagine it helping. Like I had a friend who was convinced that he was jujitsu. He did jujitsu, and he's convinced that getting high made him a better jujitsu practitioner. And he would get high and just get smoked out there. And I'd be like, dude, don't get high before a tournament. It doesn't make you better. It just makes you think you're better.
no, it doesn't. I know. Or the drive. I know the driving. Oh, I drive better when I'm high. Is another one.
Oh yeah, that's. I don't want to get in the car with you if you say anything like that. Yeah, you do
Yeah.
not drive better when you are high. That is scientifically not true. So
Yeah. Going back to like your Weirder Than series, I really like the I didn't know that much about Shea Stadium. Like it was wild, all the information that you pulled out. I knew the vet, but I didn't know Shea.
Shea was a wild story because when I'm looking for a stadium to do, yeah, it's really important that you find like that there's enough there to go off of. And I had completely forgot that well, I never even had heard the story that a fan got hit by a flying lawnmower. So they were doing like an RC show where they had planes and stuff, and this guy lost control of his flying lawnmower and it hit a fan and ended up killing him. And I was like, that is insane. Like, I had no idea that happened. Anytime I see where someone passed away, like, that's going to make it, unfortunately more interesting,
Yeah.
but also more interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow. I'm often surprised at how many stadiums have had a fatality happen at them.
Yeah, it's one of those things like tragedy brings people in kind of things.
Yeah, and it's just shocking. You're like, what? Some guy got shot with a stray bullet?
Which stadium was that?
That was at the Polo Grounds. This
Oh,
guy, he got shot by a stray bullet.
that
It was
sucks.
July 4th. Some kid, like a couple miles away, like shot a 22 rifle in the air, just thinking that it wouldn't come down, and it ended up just hitting some fan that was in on the third baseline. It was pretty bad. They never charged the kid because he just didn't, he didn't think that the bullet would come down somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
kind of my
dumb.
biggest fear on 4th of July. Is like that's always on my mind. It's like, is someone gonna do something like that?
I don't even think that's a way to ruin your 4th of July, man.
Yeah,
Something else could happen, you could drop a brick on your foot on 4th
yeah.
of July. So I don't know.
I
I don't that
I
is
just
that it, all fear is rational, I guess, as
yeah,
crazy as it sounds.
yeah. I have a panic disorder, so like my brain is
Uh,
always so
Same
like,
here. Yeah.
oh,
Well,
so
I mean, I have anxiety for sure, and I just have to tell myself, dude, chill.
yeah. I think
When
everybody
you
has.
feel that, yeah, when you feel that like jump in your chest, you're like, oh, okay, we've done this. Chill out. We don't need to go any further.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's tough though. Sometimes you get
yeah.
anxiety is a bitch.
Oh, it is.
Um,
Sometimes I'll miss work, or like I'll be in the middle of work and I'm like, crap, it's coming on. And I work as a custodian, so I'm alone. And I'm like, I need to go find someone to talk to.
yeah, there's different ways to cope with it. And it's all valid because
Yeah.
your feelings are real, and when you feel overwhelmed like that, it's just it's a tough thing to deal with, especially when, dude, I mean, I'm significantly older. When we were young, like if you felt anxiety, you were just, like, what's wrong with you? You feel wrong, and you're ashamed for it, and then you're mocked for, everyone's like, at least now there's less stigma around it, but it was
Yeah.
tough. You just our way of coping was to convince ourselves that anxiety and panic attacks weren't real, and then when you have one for real, it's not, it's just, you're like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is real.
It's kind of one of those things like everybody in my family deals with it, but they didn't tell me about it. So like I'm in the middle of
Um,
my graduation practice, and I feel like I feel like this overwhelming dread, and everybody's like laughing at me because I'm like freaking out, and they're like, "This guy's on drugs, he's on meth or whatever," and I'm like,
mhm.
"No, like I don't know what's going on," for like 4 years till I finally.
Yeah, it could be tough, and there weren't very many resources around it, but now we're getting better.
We're getting better.
Mental health is still a problem in this country, but we're doing our best. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
every that us personally.
yeah.
So
I am sorry that like I drifted off. So
no, it's all good.
yeah,
We can
uh,
we can go down whatever rabbit hole you wish.
yeah. All right. Yeah. So out of all of the games we talked earlier before the show, you're a Giants fan since the '80s. Out of all the like, despite besides the Super Bowl, like, what's your favorite Giants game that you watched?
Ooh. That's easy. That is the 2000 NFC Championship. Can I say playoff games? Is that
Yeah, you
okay?
can do whatever you want.
The 2000 NFC Championship, I guess that would be the 1999 season,
I think
I
so, right? No,
believe.
because that would be the Rams, right? In '99.
The Yeah, so it was the 2000 season when the Giants played the Ravens. The week before, the Giants beat the absolute doors off of the Vikings. And as a fan, like as someone who doesn't have a dog in the fight, like you want an interesting game. You're just like, I don't care about either of these teams. But as a fan, you want to wreck the other team. And the Giants came out from the opening snap, like they received the kickoff from the opening snap, and the announcers were like, "Yeah, they said they're going to pass the ball pretty much every down today." First play of the game, Kerry Collins hits Ike Hilliard on like a straight up post route, and he takes it all the way to the house. It's like an 80-yard touchdown, and you're like, "We are about to whip these dudes' asses," because that Minnesota team somehow they got to the NFC Championship game on the one of the most frauds. Like I've talked to Vikings fans that are older, and they were like that was the most fraudulent team we've ever had, and they had no idea that how they got to the NFC Championship game, and they had a weak and banged up secondary. And yeah, the Giants, if they got single coverage, they were going to go deep like every play. And so from the opening play, they score a touchdown. Then they 3-and-out them. Next drive, like 2 passes, they're back in the end zone. They beat them 41-0. Like it was over by the 3rd possession. Like you could tell like the Giants were going to score at will, and you could tell that the Vikings could not move the ball like in the opening quarter. And I just sat there. I was like, we're going to Super Bowl. Like
It's
this is the biggest ass whipping I've ever seen. So
it's so that's so
it's
crazy.
yeah, those are moments where as a fan, you're just like, "Yep, I can just relax." I had a little bit of worry coming in this game, but we are cruising, and I can feel good and start, figuring out where I'm going to watch this game next week. And then they got absolutely crushed in the
Oh
Super Bowl. But, we don't want to talk about that.
no,
At
I
least they
watched.
got there.
Was the Vikings? The offense was really good 2 years before that, right? Like they had that 15-1 season.
Yeah, they just came in banged up. And the Giants had a relatively easy road to the Super Bowl. I think they beat the Eagles in the first
Mhm.
round. It was like a sloppy, ugly game. I think the final score is 20-10. And then all they had to do, because they were like the number 1 seed somehow because they won 8 games in a row. All they had to do was host all they had to do was win 2 games, and they were in the Super Bowl. So they beat Philly, and then they beat the Vikings, and they found themselves in the Super Bowl against a much better Ravens team, you
Even
know.
with the bad quarterback. Well,
Yeah, even with Trent Dilfer, they were just that defense was just lethal. I mean, they went 2-2 in a month where they didn't score an offensive touchdown. Like they
weren't
won half their games, not even scoring.
they
So
won what by like I think they only allowed like 15, 16, 14 points somewhere around there that year. I can't remember.
in the playoffs,
or the Ravens, they only allowed like 15 points, something like that. It's an insane number, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they dominate. I mean, the Giants only scored 7 points, and that was off of a
Fumble, right?
kick return.
Kick
It was a
return, yeah.
cut, yeah, punt. It was, I believe, it was a kickoff return, and then the next play, the Ravens ran it back on a kickoff return, and I was just like, well, what little glimmer of hope I just had is gone. Because, the Super Bowl, you would think that maybe they'll figure something out. It's like, we got here. We're
Mhm.
in the Super Bowl. Maybe they can toughen up or change something. But man, there was just no, maybe we get a break or maybe they make a mistake or something. There was no mercy from the Ravens that year. They gave it to us pretty bad.
Yeah, I
So,
I remember that. Partly
mhm.
because I was still pretty young when that happened, and I just remember. I think was it Ray Lewis who intercepted Kerry Collins, or was that someone else? I remember it was pick six,
I think
right?
it was Ray Lewis. He was a monster in the middle. Peter Boulware was the other linebacker in that crew, and they were just brutal. They had Tony Siragusa. Ed
Oh yeah,
Reed was on that team. Like they just dominated. Oh, wait, I don't know if Ed Reed was on that.
I don't think
I
he
don't
was.
think he was. I don't think Ed Reed was the start. I mean, Ed Reed is so old that
Uh,
no, he
uh,
came in 2002. So no, he
yeah,
predated them. He did win a Super Bowl, but
eventually.
he came after
Yeah.
uh that
I
run.
I honestly remember the 2007 season because everybody was like, somebody beat the Patriots, and I was like, I'm an Eagles fan, and I was like going for the Giants because I'm just like, my mom's a Dolphins fan, so like
Mhm.
her perfect season that she could brag about is at stake at this time. So I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta go for the Giants.
Yeah, you would have had to hear all that. Like obviously having a 16 game schedule and then having to win 3 rounds, back then, um I'm not sure. I think if you won the league, then you'd play the AFL championship and then the Super Bowl.
This was after
So
this was 1972, so this would be
so
after.
did they just go straight to the Super Bowl
Yeah,
after they won the AFL? So they didn't even have playoffs, right?
they didn't. It
No,
was
no.
merged. It was merged by then.
No, so it's 17-0, right? Is the
Yeah,
season that they claim because they won
14-0.
14 and then they won three playoffs. That's right. It's
Yeah,
not one less playoff game.
yeah.
But yeah, the 17-0 claim. Now you couldn't even go, even if you go 17-0, you got 3 more games to go.
It's
I
nuts. And
Yeah, and the league had how many teams back then? They're not same records anymore. A perfect season is not the same as
no,
back
it'll
then.
never happen
But it
again.
did happen. They did do it. Got to give them credit. And then nobody else did it.
No,
So must have been good enough. I mean, the Patriots were this close. They were 45 seconds away
how did it
from
feel
pulling
going
it
into
off.
that game?
Oh gosh. I mean, I had a good feeling. I had a really good feeling about the NFC Championship game.
Was that
And
the Packers? No.
yes.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? No, I was equally nervous. No, I'm thinking of 2012.
Okay.
In 2007, when we went into the Packers, I was like, I don't know, couple breaks. And then I saw how well they played. And then when we got to the Super Bowl, I was like, you know what? We have a really good defensive line. We can get organic pressure without having to blitz. I think it's going to be a game. And then when from the opening drive, I was like, we have a shot. Like when I saw them methodically and smartly move the ball, and they only ended up with a field goal, but I was like, "Oh, okay. We're gonna have a shot because we're gonna play defense." Like I knew that, and they did. They had a really good game plan against one of the best offenses in the history of mankind. That was the "fuck you" tour by the Patriots because of
Spygate.
Spygate, and I think they say you don't learn anything when you win,
Mhm.
right? And they just won too much and they expected it. They expected to win that game. They were like, these Giants are underdogs. They only won 11, 10 games. They're a wild card. Like this is the best matchup that we had. Yeah, they might have pressure. Like I think the Patriots thought that they had it.
Mhm.
They were like, this is the year of destiny because they did have the best team. And
They
Bill
were.
Belichick and Belichick's not a fucking slouch, man. He's
No.
Bill fucking Belichick. Like he had them prepared. He had a good game plan, and he was not trying to mail in completing a perfect season.
Yeah,
And they just ran into a good team. The Giants just Tom Coughlin had everybody disciplined, and
I
they played together as a unit.
I remember Brady had trouble with pressure at the middle, and it's what the Giants did the whole game.
Yeah, they were doing a lot of stunts. Like, I mean, when you have Justin Tuck scream off on the edge and you got to worry about flaring out there and he does a stunt and then jumps through the A gap,
Mm.
like you're in trouble. I've seen Justin Tuck run end to end with Lamar Jackson. Like he's fast.
Was
And
that
it's crazy.
the year that you guys got 12 sacks on us?
Oh yeah. That was a Monday night, and I believe OC Umanura, Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, like they all got like two or like they were just on top of Donovan McNabb like all night. I remember the last sack, it was like the 12th one. Like OC Umanura just grabs him in the middle and just hooks him and then just tosses him down and just looks at him and he's like, yeah, that's enough.
That game
You
pissed
know?
me off.
Oh man, like and it was somewhat close.
Mhm.
Like the game was somewhat close, but not really because the Giants, whenever they needed a stop, they
They
were like, I was like, oh, here comes the sack. And like, I was just like, oh man. Because I remember, I think there was an injury to the right tackle, and they had a rookie out there who barely even knew the playbook. And he ended up just on an island most of the time, one on one, because I mean, offensive line is extremely intricate what they're supposed to do, even if you suck, right? As
Mhm.
long as you know the scheme, you can at least be where you're supposed to be. That kid, unfortunately, was just like he didn't know the scheme and he was not talented. Like he was a rookie who barely made the team. Like I think they called him up from like practice squad or something.
Yeah,
I forget what his name was, but like he got abused that night. Like I thought they were going to call the police. It
yeah,
was that bad.
my mom's saying that she remembered the game. So
Yeah.
she's like, and I used to be like a very angry sports fan. Like I remember one time was watching Monday Night Football against Washington, and we were down, and I flung my shoe up in the air, and it hit my mom's china and knocked everything over. And like my stepdad was like, "You better cut that out, or no more." And that was kind of the start of my evolution into a more like, okay, it's just a game type.
Yeah. I've learned to be a little calmer now. I'm a little bit more worried. Sometimes I lose my temper. It's
Mhm.
sports, it's made to be angry, but I'm learning to get over it quicker. I used to
Yeah,
be really good with not caring, but now,
you're in
sometimes
it.
I care a lot. Yeah.
So
Sometimes I care too much.
you do all the other sports too, right? Like
I
baseball.
do. I like if there's a winner and a loser, if there's a loser involved, I'll watch it because I just think that uh sports competition, it's a good source of dopamine. Like I like watching people win or lose or test themselves,
Mhm.
and every and all the interesting varieties that we do it, motorsports, golf. Humans we're fucking bored, right? We figured out how to make and cultivate food, and
Oh
we're
yeah,
like, all right, we got access to clean water. Now what do we do? Who can run faster? And
yeah.
so I just hockey is a great game. It's one of the most exciting games. Like each sport has a draw to it where you're like, that's satisfying to watch.
I
That's that's interesting. I like the way that happens.
yeah. For hockey, New York Rangers or Islanders or someone
Rangers,
Rangers?
Rangers, and we haven't won one since I was 17, and I might think that that might be it. Like this Rangers have been bad for a long time, but um I don't know, man. Like in hockey, there seems to be windows where teams can win two, maybe three championships in a 5-year span, and then they might not win again for 50 years. Um,
Was that the
so
year? Not Mark. Was it Mark Messier?
yes, Mark Messier led the Rangers to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Vancouver Canucks. That team was loaded.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers went out and signed they basically were the 1990 Oilers 4 years ago. They had Mark Messier, Esa Tikkanen, Craig McTavish, Sergei Zubov, like all these studs out there, and then they ended up winning the championship. But man, that was and oh gosh.
Yeah. My brother asks if you're a Knicks fan as
I
well.
am a Knicks fan. I was just talking to my best friend about it. We've been Knicks fans since high school. It's why we were friends. Like I was like, "Oh, you're a Knicks fan?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so we've been friends ever since. And we are talking about how good the Knicks looked, and how much rest that they have coming up. And this is in the 40 some odd years of being a Knicks fan since the Patrick Ewing days. This is the best I've seen them play, and this is their best opportunity to finally win a championship in my lifetime. But who knows? You know, it is the Knicks, and the Knicks, they just gotta do what they have been doing, which is playing outstanding defense and hitting huge shots when they need to.
Yeah. I'm I'm a Thunder fan, and I've been a Thunder fan since they were like 23 and 59. But
Okay,
I
fair.
I haven't watched basketball. I even like kind of checked out when they won the championship. It's just I think it's kind of like boring, like their way of playing.
The thing with basketball is like when one team is just better, it's pretty predictable like who's going to win, and you'll see that like it's not as nail biting as say hockey where you really just don't know
Mhm.
who's going to win a given game. Football's gotten better
Yeah.
with that, you know, with more parity, but sometimes, you know, you get a dud in there. You get like I mean, the Seahawks just absolutely ran the Patriots out of the gym in the Super Bowl. But basketball, like you can tell, like
Yeah.
I mean, but these games, you know, a good close basketball game is one of the most exciting things on earth. When they're
It really
trading baskets, you're just like, holy crap. It's so filling with dopamine. Like it's not like hockey where you have to wait and build for that huge moment. Basketball is like
yeah.
it's one of
With
those great games.
yeah, with basketball, it's just I hope the Knicks win, you know? Like even as a Thunder fan, I'm like, we already won one. Um but the Knicks have gone I think 1999 was the last time they made it.
Yeah, the last championship I believe was in '73, something like
Yeah,
that.
when
So
you played
it's
Wilt and Jerry.
yeah, you had Walt Willis Reed,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, he came back from injury, and they had I believe Dave DeBusschere, like a whole bunch of Knicks, you know, were on that team, and they ended up winning it, but it happened so long ago, you know.
Yeah, I know the year before that they lost because their stars got hurt, and then the next year Wilt and
Mhm.
everybody got hurt. So like they kind of traded. But with hockey though, it's interesting. Do you ever get that feeling where they're on the boards near your net, and you're like, dude, get that puck out of there? It's,
Yeah, I mean, hockey can have some severe anxiety. Like, I think yeah, if you're in your defensive zone and then you see the other team start setting up, you're like, uh-oh, because
yeah,
those guys are so good. Like, they practice so well and they know how to take advantage of opportunities. Like, hockey is amazing
I
for a sport, for
I love
sure.
the Ducks are
There
my
and
team.
yeah. Those guys are tough too. Like that, there's nothing more manly than hockey. Like you're not only playing a highly skilled game where you got a puck and a stick, but you're also hitting other people on ice at full speed. Like it's a very interesting combination of skill and violence for sure.
There's that like people will have like severe injuries and they'll come back like the next
They'll play
day.
the next day. Ryan McDonough broke his ankle
Mhm.
game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2015, came back the next game and played like 6 minutes or something with a completely shattered ankle.
Was that the year they went to the Stanley Cup, or was that?
They lost they lost that game 7 because
Yeah,
because McDonough got hurt. I mean,
yeah.
no, it wasn't like anyone's fault. Like no one did anything dirty. He just, he rolled his ankle.
Mhm.
Like that shit happens. Like they'll get hit in the face with a puck and they're like throwing the stitches. I'm going back out there in the same game.
Yeah.
In the same, like the level of toughness that they, and it's cultural too.
Mhm.
Like if you look over at your teammate and he's got a flap of skin hanging from his face and you're like bitching about some little cut, like you better like you better not, like you're going to lose all the respect of your teammates. And those guys take it to another level.
I
I'm telling
remember
you, they're tough.
the guy who got slashed in the neck, and
Oh, Clint Malarchuk.
yeah, and that blood everywhere. He comes back, I think, like the next game, and I'm like,
I don't think it was the next game.
like
He
two
did
games,
end
right?
up playing. Yes, Clint Malarchuk did end up returning
Yeah,
to
my
playing,
apologies.
but he got his neck slashed with a skate and nearly almost died. A very fortunate thing was that Malarchuk was in the south goal, and the medical stand happened to be at that end of the rink.
That was
So when he got slashed, the medical dude recognized what was happening. He jumped out on the ice. If he would have been across, he would have had to run all the way across the rink, and Malarchuk might have died in that 5 seconds. So the guy gets there and just slaps his hand like right on his neck, and it like
yeah.
basically clamps off his artery while they can get. I think they performed the surgery right there on the
Ugh,
ice.
that's
Like
crazy.
they were like, we need to put him back together now.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's a crazy story that he didn't just die, because I mean it was the carotid artery just got slashed.
good medical staff.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
Like
so like it makes me all
yeah,
woozy.
yeah, it's a crazy story. I mean that it just happened, but also that they were able to save his life like just in time.
Yeah, it's amazing. But if we're going back to like football, like what's your favorite like Eagles Giants game?
Ooh, Giants versus Eagles. There was that playoff game where, I mean, Jason Sehorn intercepted a pass where he basically did like breakdancing, and he spun around and then he caught the ball and then no one touched him and he ran it back. That was a pretty cool game.
That was early two
Um,
thousands.
yeah, that was I believe that was in the playoff. That was
Yeah,
in that when they made that run to the Super Bowl. Jason Sehorn did
yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
Gosh, my favorite Eagles Giants game. We unfortunately haven't had many, like you guys have destroyed
Miracle,
us in big moments recently.
Miracle, the
Mm,
Meadowlands,
yeah, yeah.
Meadowlands two.
That Meadowlands too. Yeah, like you guys have gotten us 3 times on really ugly incidents.
But when it came time
Um,
for playoffs, it was you guys for a while.
yeah. I guess that playoff game is probably my favorite
Mhm.
because we finally got over the hump. And also that sack game was very fun to watch.
Not for me, not for me at all.
Yeah. That was also pretty fun to watch. You know what? I might switch it to that one.
Yeah.
That was
Did
pretty good.
so? Are you so as a Giants? Because I'm from California. Like, is the Giants Eagles rivalry bigger than the Cowboys and Giants, or Cowboys and Eagles,
Ooh.
or is it
Yeah, I think it's our biggest rivalry because of proximity. You know,
Okay.
they're 2 hours down the road. So there's gonna be overlap, in northern Jersey, people from Philly move up to North Jersey, and then people from New York move into Jersey, and then you got this whole community of people that just fucking hate each other over a football game. But it's not, I mean, we the least competitive is Commanders Giants, like
Hmm.
because we just feel like they should not talk any shit. Like just don't talk, okay? Like it's been a
Nobody.
long time. But if they start to get good, then they get chippy. And then, I think Cowboys Giants just because of the longevity of it all. And of course, I have to deal with Scooter every week and his delusions. So,
How much of that is an act?
none of it.
None of it.
Absolutely none of it.
He really thinks that they're going to.
Scooter genuinely believes in his heart that the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. Like he just believes it.
He's like
And
my friend.
I love him. I
I love.
love Scooter and I get why he can incense some people, but it's not an act. That's what makes me love him is because I know more than like people that are watching it for the first time, they don't know who Scooter is, that it's not an act.
Yeah.
But because I know, it makes it not only funnier, like it makes it hilarious because he genuinely believes
I
that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, but also it endears him to me because I'm like, wow, to believe that hard,
I
to
love.
genuinely defend Dak Prescott like that is
I
amazing.
actually like him a lot. Like he reminds me
Hmm.
of my best friend. He's a Cowboys fan too, and I'm like, this guy reminds me of my friend, and I'm like, they're so like hyped, and they're like, oh, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, and I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy. Like, you say
Hmm.
that, it's all good, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a more pessimistic fan. I believe in the jinx,
Mhm.
I think it's ridiculous because if you think about it, like what you or I say has no bearing on the outcome of a football game. Like they're not thinking, man, Adam from 5 Points Vids said that we were going to win, and that is why somebody drops a pass. No, they don't even know who we are. you
Yeah.
know, if you wore your lucky sock or you didn't, like I don't know. Somebody believes that the sock is lucky. I get it. I understand stereotypes and understand the belief, but
Mhm.
really it doesn't, you know, you could
Yeah.
say we're going to win the Super Bowl or we're going to lose the Super Bowl and you still want them to win and
Mhm.
it has nothing to do with the outcome.
Yeah. I am very much. I think I'm optimistic, but like not to that point. I'm like, I had that feeling they were gonna win in 2024 about October. Like the Eagles went on a run, like, and I was like, oh, this is it. And then all day that Super Bowl, I was like, we're gonna blow out the Chiefs. And my stepdad's a Bengals fan, and he was rooting against the Chiefs, obviously, and he was like, yeah,
That was an ass whipping. That
oh,
I mean, we watched it and we react, and then Barry McCockiner came on, and he didn't really say much because his team was just absolutely whipping the shit out of the Chiefs. That was the last thing I thought would happen. I thought it was a pretty evenly matched matchup headed into that game, but the Eagles just came out and stomped. And it's funny because when you watch a team and you see that they have something special, because you see where they put themselves in situations and you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna go to that, right? And then they do and they get it, and you're like, oh, this team could be dangerous.
mhm.
And that Philly team was dangerous for sure. They were all year. Like, and they had the tush push, and when you have something that nobody can stop, um, pretty hard to lose,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
Yeah.
Um, so Giants 2026. What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping for at least a turnaround, a return to relevancy. But I've been saying that for a while. I think this is our best opportunity now that we have like there's less anxiety about the defense headed into this year because we have just so much pass rush. Like we're OP on pass rush. And that's what you kind of need in this league. And a lot, look at the Texans,
Yeah.
they get to the quarterback. I mean, the Patriots, they did that all year. I mean, and Seattle ultimately, so when this is how the NFL is being constructed now. So when you're blazing, because every trend is to meet a trend,
Mm-hmm.
right? They went to these spread offenses or these tight offenses, these RPO type offenses, and they're like, okay, we'll make it so that you can't run or pass. That's
That's
how the defensive has shifted, and so yeah, they're like, we don't care what your option is. We're going to take away both of them,
I
and
think we head back more into like a running game, not fully like the 90s, but like more involved. And we've seen that the last two championships that they're running the ball.
yeah. I mean, it's a valid strategy, and it's like people are like, "What? You can run the ball?" And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not mystery science, Like there's only so like the thing I love about football is it's a resource based game,
Mm-hmm.
and if you commit resources down to stopping the run, you're going to get beaten on the pass. If you commit resources to stopping the pass, teams are going to figure out that you're concentrating on that. You're going to get soft. Like that's why it's a little easier to compare eras in football than other sports because I mean, well, I think the skill and the size of the players has been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Um,
Only recently they've gotten insanely.
Yeah, you got all these freaks that have been bred to play football, but I don't think they're that much faster or that much more violent than even the 70s and 60s. Like
I
men have
would
been
say
men for a long time. It's not
I
like we've changed our complete DNA since then.
I think 70s would probably be more violent. Just the
Oh, for
stuff they were
sure,
doing,
for
like
sure.
the casts they would like put
Late
like
60s was pretty bad. They were stepping on people. Yeah, I think, yeah, they'd have these whole fist casts and you just hit people. He's like, oh, thank you for giving me a fucking weapon to hit my fucking opponents with,
I
you
remember
know?
Deacon Jones's head slap he would do, like that was banned.
Uh-huh.
So like it's less violent, but more violent in a way. A different kind of violence.
Yeah, it's crazy that they would play a whole game with a cast on. Like that is insane. Like you have literally a broken hand and you're playing NFL football in a cast. You're just using your fit. Like you are so much better than the next guy that a guy with two working hands is
Mm-hmm.
not better than you and your broken fist.
The
Like that's
Raiders were known
crazy.
for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or they were just lying and they're like, hey, you know,
I heard
you
that
know,
actually. The
really?
Raiders would do like some of the Raiders players. They would plaster their hand, and they're like, nothing was wrong. We just did it, So,
Oh, it's like weighted gloves. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, why not? If you're gonna be able to get away with hitting someone and it's say it's somebody you don't like, like a
Mhm.
rival player, and you're just like, I don't like that dude. I'm gonna go ahead and dip my hands in plaster like I'm in the Kumite.
Yeah. So we have about 2 minutes. I like to end on this. I've learned it from someone else, but what are three things you're most thankful for?
Oh, I'm thankful for my family for sure. I'm thankful for my health. And I'm thankful that I get to do what I do, that I get to still create videos and try to make people happy and entertain them. But yeah, I'm thankful on the big things for sure, but also uh that I you know, get to live a, a fun and freeing life.
It really seems like that, and I hope one day I'm where you're at.
Hey, you never know. You just keep trying and you put out content and It's been quite the journey for sure,
It's hard work,
and it
definitely.
is. It's very hard work, and there were many times where I was like, "Ah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making videos," but I liked it, and I
Mhm.
was just, there's times when you're like, "What am I doing? Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not making a dime from this, but, I'm learning, I'm growing." You take little wins where you
Yeah.
can get them, and, it's like anything, if you apply yourself and you wanna learn more, you can get better at it.
It's so much fun. To be honest, like I don't make any money off of it. I'm like
Mhm.
250 subscribers in, but I love it so much. I love being able to like chat with people and like talk to like the commenters or like just watch the game. And this was I wanted to be a sports commentator when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And this is because I have agoraphobia, which is like fear of going out. This is my way to live out that dream in a way.
That's awesome. Hell yeah, and you can communicate and be and interact with people
Mhm.
in a safe, comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people just don't realize, we're in our homes
Mhm.
talking, so it's very easy to relax
Yes.
and say how you and not feel like there's pressure. Like, even sometimes when we've been on and 20,000 viewers or 30,000 viewers, it's very like, I don't even think of the scale of that at all, of how many people are watching me. I just, I'm in my living room, or not my living room, I'm in my studio, just
Exactly.
doing what I normally do. And I think is, one time I got out on the center at AT&T Stadium. I got out at the 50-yard line, and
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, I can see how these guys can perform in front of hundreds of thousands of people and not even think about that." Not
Mhm.
even pay attention to the cameras, like, the way the field is set up and when you're out in the middle, like, you're just like, "Oh, yeah, a job's a job." Especially when you go out and play sports, like, when you actually go out and play and you step on the field, first of all, it looks a lot smaller in
Yeah.
person when you're out there. From far away, it's like it's like a forced perspective, like, you think the field is bigger than it is, but when you get out there, you're like, "Oh, these are normal dimensions," you know? Like, this is just a baseball diamond, like,
Yeah.
I've been on hundreds of these.
Did you
But
play baseball growing up?
yeah, I played in high school, I still play,
Mhm. I've
and,
seen that
I
you had
wasn't
like
yeah.
event thing
Oh,
coming up June 3rd.
yeah, I wasn't particularly good. I mean, I was above average, like, good enough to make my high school baseball team, and I think I could have gone, like, to play at D3 or something, but as, like, a walk-on sob story, they're like, "Alright, this guy clearly wants to be here, and he's not very good at baseball, but you know, he's smart, and he could, possibly coach and not annoy me," you
Yeah.
know? And there's a lot of, like, there's a lot of situations like that in college where a guy, he might not be as athletic, but he makes the team because he's a hard worker. But just being around that, you do get better.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I know
I
that
got go ahead.
I know that like I played baseball for a bit, but not really anything good. But back, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm sorry.
No, I just the more opportunity you have to be instructed or just practice when you're young, like, the better you will get at a sport. And I was only, above average. Like, I would never have played for money, or, again, barely made my high school team. I believe I could have played in college if I just showed up and worked and said, "Hey, look, I'm not very good, but I want to be a college baseball player." And they would be like, "Okay, show me what you got."
But you never
And
know, though.
a lot of those guys get cut too.
Yeah, I
A lot of college programs are like, "Oh, we don't fucking care. We're gonna fly another body as someone that has to be flown across the country." But unless it's like a JUCO where it just doesn't matter. Like, they're like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck. Clean up our balls.
a lot
We'll
of
give you a
people
uniform."
start there. I know
Yeah.
that. I am thankful for my fiance who like tells me not to quit this, because there have been times where I'm just like, I'm tired, or like
Mm-hmm.
you get down because like you work hard on something, and it's just like, but like she's like, you're improving, like everything's improving.
That doesn't end, by the way. I would say, unfortunately,
Mhm.
like even at my size, even at tree size or Brandon size, sometimes you get disappointed with the performance of a video, especially when you thought it would do better. Sometimes you miss things, or you put out something that just didn't connect with the audience. So it happens. It does. Like, I'm not telling you that you won't see any success, but the same things that happen at the beginner level still happen at the most advanced. It's a lot like a sport.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2013, so
Okay,
13 years.
nice.
And the first 5 years, I got nothing. Like, nothing happened.
Yeah, I
Um,
just do it for the love of it right now. Like I
yeah.
love this.
Yeah, if that's what you need. You don't worry about the product or the viewers or anything. Well, I mean, don't worry about the numbers or subscribers, etc. Just worry about, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm committing to do this every week because I love it, and whatever happens, happens. And if that is all that, like, I know people that have been doing it the same amount of time as me, and they don't get many views, but I still see them posting, and I still see them enjoying it.
That's
And
good.
that to me is honorable.
Mhm. Hey, but yeah, thank you so much for coming. I know we went over time.
It's fine.
um, I
It's
could have
all
gone
good.
longer, but yeah, thank you so much for coming, and I hope like I could do this again with you sometime. You were very
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
interesting.
send me a DM. I appreciate it.
Probably not tomorrow or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
I'll wait.
It's
All right.
all good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I should have let you tell people where they could
Ah,
find
it's all
you.
good.
I
No,
got
they're
nervous at the end.
no, you're all good.
Yeah.
Uh hey, thanks for having me on. We're clear?
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Hey, thanks.
Mhm.
What Trenton. That's right.
Yes. And Adam.
Appreciate you. Yep. I appreciate you having me on, and yeah, good talking to you, man. Go Giants.
Go
All
Eagles.
right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.